Hi, Tammy. You're on mute, dear.
Good morning, everyone.
I think we got almost everybody.
We do.
Yeah. It's looking pretty decent.
I think you're good to go, Marianne. There's two who I do not have a response from, so we will continue on. And if they join, that's great.
All right, sounds great. Give me a moment here. I'm going to share my screen and bring up the presentation. Might take me just a moment because I have a very strange setup on my computer. I apologize. There we go. Can everyone see my screen okay? All right, I'm just going to switch this over to here so I can see faces. This is the problem I run into occasionally. I do apologize. Might have to redo. Okay. So if anyone like put something in the chat or something like that, you'll have to let me know because I can't actually see it at the moment.
I can look at that too, Marianne, no problem.
Okay, awesome. Thanks so much. Well, welcome everybody to the Oncology Working Group. It's our first kickoff meeting. We're just going to kind of go over what our group is all about, but I figured that we probably get started with some introductions. I don't know if anyone would like to take a moment to share who they are and where they're from and what involvement they've had in the project so far. Take it away. I can't see the list of who's first. Oh, we got Carrie actually on the list first.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, great. My name is Carrie Hartman, and I'm a part of the oncology team with Marianne and Isaac, and I'm a clinical systems analyst.
And Renee, would you like to share?
Morning, my name is Renee. I'm the Program Operational Director and Regional Director for the Cancer Program.
And Greg.
Of course, Greg has a mouthful of oatmeal.
Sorry.
Timed that perfectly. Hi, I'm Greg. I am a principal trainer. I started relatively recently. I'm filling in for Alianne, who's on mat leave. Yeah. I think most of you heard the introduction already at the Power Trials meeting. So.
Well, it was nice to meet you, Greg, and your oatmeal. Anna?
Anna just put her comments in the chat. She does not have access to a micro camera right now. She is in clinic.
Oh.
Director of Pharmacy, Napanee.
All right, awesome. And Rachel.
Hi, everyone. I am the working group coordinator for Ancillary.
And Lucas.
Hey, good morning, everyone. So program manager within the oncology program.
And Jennifer.
Yes, I'm Jennifer. I am filling in temporarily for Megan on her mat leave soon in July for program manager oncology at BGH.
And Tammy. Oh, sorry.
Hello.
Did I? Yeah, I already hit Tammy, didn't I? No, sorry, go ahead.
So, hi everyone. My name is Tammy Peterside. I am the change management specialist supporting KHSC and Rockville General. Yeah.
And Robin.
Hi everyone. I'm Robin McCollum. I am the workflow lead for the oncology group.
And Laura.
Sorry, trying to get my mic. Good morning, everyone. My name is Laura Weber, and I'm the ops manager for Lumio, and part of my portfolio is oncology.
Well, it's nice to meet everybody. I'm obviously Mary Ann, and I'm a senior analyst for oncology in Lumio. And welcome to the group, everybody. And I don't think we'll take the full 2 hours for this. I think they were just trying to make sure that we had lots of extra time. But essentially, I don't know if I'm going to read this entire thing, but it's a quick journey for about why we're here. And I've looked through a few of these points, and some of the things that stand out for me is the fact that, we obviously are here to talk and collaborate to make sure that we adhere to, patient safety, quality being our top priority. And something that stood out for me is number 10, which is delivering value to the healthcare system through cultivating an environment of continuous improvement, optimization, and renewal. So this is going to be an ongoing process, like before and after go live, that we'll be working together. And if anybody wants a copy of this presentation, just let me know. I can happily send it out to you if you want to read through all of this in its entirety. Again, this slide's got a lot going on, so I actually broke it down for us a little bit to make it easier. So our purpose is to promote knowledge transfer to all the 6 different partner organizations to sort of help with the limitations of our SME engagement on the project. We want to facilitate collaboration, problem solving, and make sure that we're post go live and previous to go live, that we're getting a lot of communication and making sure that everybody is on the same page. What it's not is this: we're not taking the opportunity to redesign the system, but we are going to work together to get input from SMEs and check on key topics respective to the area and involve other people at the organizations that would sort of have some skin in the game, I guess. All working members are going to act quickly to resolve the issues. So post go live, when things come up, for instance, like there's something that's just not working in a particular workflow, or we find a problem, we would all come together and find a solution and get things working better. For the structure of our group, we have the operations team co-chair, which is me. A regional co-chair, which is somebody that would be selected amongst our group from each of one of the representing sites. So think about that throughout the meeting if you would be interested in being the regional co-chair, or we would like to put a name forward. If you want to think about it and get back to me, that'd be great. But we do want to select somebody to be sort of a co-chair for these meetings. Working groups is a change management network. So we're going to be working together, reviewing workflows and understanding the system's design, functionality, work on training, knowledge transfer. We'll do some demonstrations within Lumio, not for this meeting in particular, but we will be looking at how we can facilitate as much knowledge transfer to the sites as possible and get feedback from your sites as well. This is sort of some obvious stuff. This is actually a little bit of a repeat, to be honest, of what we've already discussed. And this is some stuff that you guys have already kind of seen before, I'm sure, about, having your camera on, participating. I would strongly suggest coming ready with a nice hot cup of coffee so we're all ready for great discussions. Now, I wanted to turn it over. No, not just yet, actually. This is the critical path. And like I say, if anyone would like me to send this out to them or hasn't seen this before, this is sort of the timeline that we're in for our project. And it outlines when we're going to be having training, when our go live is, our readiness, our data migration, all the big points and times that we're trying to reach. Again, if anyone wants me to send that out, please let me know. Now, we do have quite a few groups, working groups that have come together. The ones with asterisks are ones that have already been formed and have been doing this already. Anything without asterisks is new. So oncology working group, we're shiny and new. Not that the topics we have talked about are new. So, and I think in total, there's around 30 groups that will be working and collaborating together. Now, I wanted to bring this over to Tammy. Tammy, I think you were going to talk a little bit about this particular part and the resources and learning library that's available.
Yes. But before I just touch on that, just want to do a quick touch on like the role as working group members. So, like Marianne had mentioned, like there is the role of working group members is just to act as that change champions, and that connection between the region and bringing back that knowledge to local organizations. But more than that, too, we've also heard that it is important that change is championed by people that are familiar to us. And so in your different departments, in your different teams, it would be important that, you know, you're advocating for the changes that are coming from Lumio, from you, as that trusted person that they look up to and ask their questions to. It's also a very tense time. Change is often difficult, and so you will be seeing some resistance as well, and you'd be acting as a resistance manager. So research shows that, you know, the best intervention to mitigate resistance comes from the team's leadership. You know your team better than, you know, anyone, and so if you see that resistance come through, you are more informed on how to manage those resistance or that resistance that come up. And lastly, just as a coach and helping employees, helping your teams just walk through the changes that are coming. We're about 6 months out to go live. So upping that excitement, upping that awareness, and also empowering yourselves to be like that coach to help your team walk through the changes that are coming. Go to the next slide, please. And so here we see what I'm calling like the sort of life cycle of change, moving it to a bigger screen just so I can see. And so we see like it moves from awareness to understanding to acceptance, adoption, integration. Right now, we are in that acceptance phase. So people, yourselves, are beginning to see the changes that are coming, have like tangible aspects of the changes that are coming, and leverage the knowledge to bring people on board. So if you go down that sort of that chart there, you see working groups fall right under the acceptance. And so the hope is that, you know, we've gone through an awareness through micro simulations that have happened from January up until this point. There has been a lot of resources posted on the Lumio library, which I'll be showing after this. There's also been a couple of hopefully leadership engagements that have happened in your different organizations, as well as a manager toolkit that has been shared out and is also available in the Lumio library. So after that acceptance phase, we go to adoption, which is a lot of locally driven activities like the road shows, end user training, super user training, train the trainers. All of these were becoming ahead in like the fall. And then hopefully we get to go live and transition to operations where this working group will move from knowledge transfer to, okay, the system is out, we're now live. There's certain decisions that need to be made. This is the working group that would be making those decisions and looking through the optimization list as well. And I guess the next slide is just the Lumio library. Just with a show of hands, does anyone have access to the Lumio library right now? Are you familiar with the Lumio library? just before I share my screen and give you a quick walkthrough. I guess a thumbs up would be better.
Can I ask where we can access this Lumio library?
Absolutely. I would put the link in the chat. And I'd also put a sort of sign up step-by-step guide to in the chat as well. I do have to mention that you will have to create an account. It does take a minute or so, well, more than a minute, because someone would have to actually manually approve your access to the Vimeo library. So if you do sign up, just give it some time. Someone is just manually having to go in and push accept in your request. So I'll share my screen. Actually, I'll pop the link in the chat first.
I think when I did it, I had access within about a day.
Okay, that's great.
So yeah, I sent in my request and somebody got back and approved it.
Awesome. So you can give us 24 hours, give the comms team 24 hours to accept your request. And so once you do have access to the Lumio library, this is the first page you would see. Here we have like home, communications tools, news and updates, where you'd get like articles from SMEs, articles on different things that are happening in the project. The Readiness Hub has like micro simulations, knowledge transfer workshops, and other information upcoming. But I think really the important part is just like this secondary menu here. And you can listen to the podcast. We do have a podcast, which I find pretty interesting and informative. And it touches on everything from training to SMEs that have worked on the project, different things like that. And again, there's micro simulation, knowledge transfer workshop. There's also a manager's toolkit that is shared every month. So a lot of feedback is that has been helpful. You can take a look at that. But most importantly, especially for this group, I would say is this tab here, the change management working groups. So if you click on that, it will take you to, wow, technology is failing on me. But oh, there you go. It just needed a couple of clicks. So once you click on that, it would show you, a couple of all the working groups that are available. And so you just need to find your working group. Let's say, I guess I'm just gonna, this is ambulatory. No, this is oncology, my bad. I'm sorry. So oncology working group right here. Click on learn more, and you'd have a list of resources available to you from just meeting practices, the agenda template, I guess facilitation guides. And I think one of the important things that for this working group too would be like the learn, do, share template, which is just a template that encourages conversation and that knowledge transfer. So what do you think people should learn, do, and share, and how to take that information back to organizations? The meeting is recorded and that material will be available here as well. And then we also have like the high impact workflow document, which can be filtered through for oncology specific workflows, and then the schematics to accompany that. So that's just a brief overview of the website specific to this working group. I'll pause there and see if anyone has any questions.
Quiet group.
Okay. I'll say no questions and I'll return that back to Marianne. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tammy. I don't really have any more slides to show. Pardon me. But just to reiterate Tammy's point about being an advocate, or I want to say almost like an ambassador, whenever there's something new, it's really hard for people to get on board. But if you're positive and you're going to people and be like, hey, this is going to be a really good thing, it's going to get contagious, because sometimes, you know, people that have been doing things the same way for a really long time, they're not really interested in change. And it can be difficult, but us as ambassadors or advocates for this, it's really going to become catching. So it's important for us to be positive and share the positives that Lumio is going to be doing for the region. Which did bring me to something that is important. I don't know if anyone is interested, but we've been asked to sort of create a Lumio elevator pitch. I don't know if anyone's interested or up for trying this, but basically, if you were stuck in an elevator with somebody right now and they said, why is Lumio so awesome? What would you say? Anybody want to go? Any thoughts? Oh, there's got to be somebody.
Standardization. Standardization and using the same one IT system instead of 4.
Awesome. Anybody else? You were stuck in an elevator with a tough cookie. How would you say that this is awesome? For me, I think I would say one patient journey. It makes it easier for the patient, that provides them with a better opportunity for a streamlined healthcare system where they can be cared for better. And there's a better understanding between each site, so that each site has an understanding of what's going on with that patient, instead of the back and forth that we sometimes have going on right now. You know, where you're transferring images back and forth and information, then at least everyone kind of knows what's going on. I know it's a tough one to come up with all of a sudden, so I did put everybody on the spot. Is there anyone who's interested in becoming a co-chair for this group?
I'm happy to. Marianne,
Oh.
I did send you an email though.
Oh,
I
did
was
you?
flip-
I didn't see my email yet.
I was flipped this invitation, so I actually don't know if I was invited, but I would be happy to be involved.
I don't know if you're on my list or not. You're
If
not
I'm
on my list of invitees.
if I'm an
I might.
imposter, just let me know.
I wouldn't say you're an imposter. You're definitely someone who knows a lot. So, I don't have you on my list. So, I don't know if you're permitted to be a co-chair. I'd be delighted if you would like to be one. But I think I have to choose some. Well, I don't have to choose. I'm hoping that someone will volunteer. Somebody who came to the original
Yeah,
meeting invite.
Lucas can.
Lucas can. Lucas, you want to do it?
I will do it.
Okay, I'm gonna put you down. I'm supposed to send the info on and you get sort of officially approved, but I think that's awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Now, one of the last things I kind of wanted to go over is looking forward to our meetings coming up. What sort of things would you guys like to talk about? And that's kind of a broad question, but what sort of topics do you guys want to explore? What is there workflows that you want to see? Do we want more information about go live, going before we go live? How are we going to prepare learning materials? Is there anything that's hot on your mind? Even just coming from your organizations where they're like, we're really worried about this. What sort of things would you like to bring forward in this working group for our next session?
I'll go. We're having a lot of conversations at a lot of different tables, and I do think we need to bring it all together. So hoping we can use this table to provide that information at a regional level. And top of mind is clinical cutover, which is going to be a pretty heavy lift for the systemic treatment program.
All right. Now, Jennifer, I see you have your hand up. Go ahead.
I would say, access to learning materials before go live for just the teams and the units.
How many people here have done the learning journeys?
I have started it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone else have done the learning journeys or have access to it, I should say? I'm not seeing a lot of hands aside from like my colleagues in ops.
So I am part of the Train the Trainer event.
Oh, okay, so that's
as
what I was
well.
saying.
I am taking over temporarily for Megan for her maternity leave in July, but I'm an RN in the oncology department, and I already was doing the Train the Trainer before moving into Megan's position. So I'm going to continue to do both
Okay,
while she's off.
all right. Lucas or Greg, have either of you done the learning journeys at all or have access to them?
No, I have not.
I have.
You have, Greg? Okay.
Well, I have access to the I have a training team. But we
No,
do.
I haven't.
Anna?
I don't have any access to it, and I certainly would like to see some of the workflows.
Okay. I will say, it took me a little bit to kind of totally get into it, but I did find the learning journeys to be somewhat useful, especially when it got to the part where it would show you how to do something and then it would have you do it. You would do a practice run and then you would do it sort of officially, and then you would go through the steps yourself in this sort of mock environment. And I found that it was very useful. Anna, did you have access to it? Can't
We'll
remember
wait
if
and
Anna
see
was.
if Anna puts anything in
Yeah,
the chat. She did mention understanding workflow to satellite sites.
workflow to satellite sites. Yeah, that's a good one. That one sometimes even I find a little bit tricky because how things work at a satellite site is very different than how it works at a bigger location such as KHSC. I've learned that. And I do actually, unfortunately, I don't think she made it to the meeting. Lori Young, I don't know if anyone has met Lori Young. I worked with her, got the opportunity to meet with her at the IT testing event, and she seemed quite knowledgeable about it. You know, she could probably share some points of view about that, about how some of the stuff works at the satellite sites. Like, I didn't know that apparently with, you know, checking in a patient, they don't have necessarily a registration clerk that's doing that. It's the nurse doing it. So there are some differences for sure. Was there any other things that people wanted to visit in the meetings? Is there any concerns that people are hearing from their own organizations that people have that they would like to know more about?
I just wanted to mention, just in regards to the learning journeys, Marianne, would you happen to have a list of just like the learning journeys that are you think would be useful for working group members for oncology? Because
Oh,
what
yeah.
my understanding is that the different sites training managers can actually assign those learning journeys. So Lucas, I believe you're from KHSC, so that person would be Catherine Docker. So if we can get like a list of okay, these learning journeys would be applicable, and then you can reach out to Catherine Docker just to assign those.
Yeah, I have several learning journeys on my docket that I've gone through, from the nurse's perspective, from the physician's perspective, a whole bunch of them. I don't know right off the top of my head the names of all of them, but they're all oncology based. And I found them quite useful in making my way around and just like learning how to do orders and such like that. So I can certainly get out the list and send it to you guys and see which ones are interesting to you. And I can also find out if there's any others that would be beneficial to us. And anyone who at all wants access to those learning journeys or wants additional learning journeys, please email me because I will work it out and get you what you need. I'll just talk to whoever we need to talk to. Don't be shy. I totally do not bite. And I don't mind helping in any way that I can. So clinical cutover and training and the workflows at the satellite sites. Those are three things that seem to be quite prominent. Anything else that anyone can think of? Or just any questions? Oh, Anna says, I don't think so. Oh, and Anna, you would also like access to learning journeys as well. Okay. So Anna and Lucas don't have access, but Greg does, and everyone else seems to have access, I guess. And Jennifer, for sure, you've got access. You're all up in the training. I think that's pretty much everything that we were going to go over today. I was actually much faster than I thought it was going to be. Was there any points of discussion for today, or shall I give back people lots of time? Did you have anything, Renee? No. All right. Well, thanks so much for meeting and being a part of this. And I look forward to our next group. I'll whip up some things that we can talk about, discuss, and share at our next group. If you have any questions or thoughts on other things that you'd like to talk about, please let me know. You could send me an email and we'll work it into the conversation for our group, which is in 2 weeks. But I forgot to mention we do meet bi-weekly. And if there's anything that
August.
as of
August.
August, is it? Okay.
Probably,
So,
yeah. So
all right.
sometime after the next one, you'll probably get it from me this week, but you will get another meeting invite from me that is a regular candidates for this. That will be bi-weekly for an hour. I will send it out. I will try to work with everyone's schedules as best I can. If there's any, really that, let me know. But again, they're going to be recorded. Everything that comes out of these meetings will be put onto the Lumio library under our working group name as well. So if you can't attend, you'll be able to see that information there, meeting minutes, the recording, everything like that.
All right. That was awesome. Thanks so much, everybody. Appreciate you coming out. And I'll send a follow-up email with the list of learning journeys that I'm aware of and see if we can get everybody hooked up with that. Have an awesome Monday. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.